It's a strange kind of afternoon, or evening if you're on the East Coast, which means it's time for Strange Lore. Hi everyone, my name is Philip, and I'm the Strange Master of this game. And joining me are our wonderful players. Today we have Lauren here. We also have Anna here. Joining us for Strange Lore for the first time, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't have
Strange Master.
When there's only two people, I feel weird being like, say hello, group, because I don't know, whatever. How are you both doing today, other than all the ways I know because we just talked about it?
Totally awesome.
Cool.
Amazing.
How are you doing publicly? I guess that's the question.
Publicly? 100.
Public facing. My public facing persona is having a wonderful day. So yes, this is our this is kind of a slightly different game than our other ones. We do things a little differently. It's a little more casual. It's a little quicker. This one probably will only last until like 5:30 p.m. Pacific, which on the East Coast is, I want to say 8:30, maybe 9:30. Yes. I don't know how far away they are. So shorter kind of thing, but with this dual narrative, which I'll kind of recap for everyone, and especially Anna, who's joining us for the first time today, just so we kind of get the basic idea of what's going on. In the real world, at Premier Periodicals, the Strange Lore staff have been trying to put together a new story based on a resurgence of interest in sort of kind of like planetary romance, thanks to a new republishing of the John Carter of Mars, Princess of Mars, Edgar Rice Burroughs story. So Daniel Bliss asked asked one of his authors here to begin a new author to try to put something together on that. His name is Ted Fountain, and he used to be a comic book guy, but he moved down for reasons that we still have not established. But he said sure and started on a new story. The story is somewhat based on Cora, the receptionist at Strange Lore, or the sort of secretary girl Friday, who I think feels that he gets a sense she could be doing better things than she is stuck doing here, and so he's created Corinna, an alien princess on a strange world who is hiding her sort of true heritage because of all sorts of planetary politics nonsense. But he then brought in, as a twist, he brought in not a space man, but a space woman, and in typical sort of Burroughsian fashion, rather than coming on a spaceship, Alice Clifton appeared through some kind of strange astral projection and has arrived in the planet of Tinnerval to help the mystery princess Corinna as a sort of protector. Ted may have, kind of as a joke, written a chapter where they fell in love, then realized they couldn't publish that and threw that away, and instead has written a chapter where they have sort of entered a city after a daring escape and are looking to maybe find safe passage, but also to Corinna would like to share information about what she has seen that's caused her to go on the run from the Dirigil, which is the sort of, and I apologize for all these complicated names. I make them all up with my stupid ring. But it is the sort of the case gid are these kind of they're a cousin species to Corinna's. Corinna is a mystery. She has purple skin with elf ears and like silver spots all over her, silver sort of freckles and spots. The case gid, however, are, you know what, just for like simplicity's sake, just imagine shadow elves. They're kind of like grayscale elves, so they're related to the mystery, but not exactly a distinct sort of species, or I think they actually can procreate together, so I don't know what that is, taxonomically speaking. Are they subspecies? I don't know. Point being, this is where we spend most of our time, is on stuff like this. So
can I ask you a question out of game?
Yeah.
So the idea is that this publishing company is making these comic books. So is this part of like their writing process, or are we taking the blue pill and we're going to this place together to?
Yes, it is more the former. There is no actual crossover between the characters. So far, it seems to be a totally mundane world, but we're kind of just charting two narratives, and just kind of as a weird sort of fun thing. And one is influenced by the other, but there is, as of yet, and based on what we've seen so far, we don't expect there to be true crossover between them. In that sort of sense, the premier periodicals office feels incredibly grounded and mundane, whereas the world of Tinnerval is sort of wild and full of what Corinna can practice with Corinna is a practitioner of something called science sorcery, where she can use sort of a combination of science and magic to control the elements, to do a few other cool things. So yeah, that is sort of the idea.
Philip, did you make that up?
What?
Or is science sorcery like a thing?
Someone must have said science sorcery before, but I didn't base that on anything. Let me look up if that's got to be.
I love it.
Science
Me too.
sorcery. I do not. I see.
Science sorcery was the original STEM.
Yeah, basically.
Women in STEM.
Yes.
And magic.
And science sorcery.
I see a very few. I see like under 10,000 results of like weird reference. There's not a. No, it is not a. Oh, weird. It also is giving me results of Cyan magic, which I think has much less of a ring to it.
Cyan magic.
Yeah, not as
Sounds
much.
like
So yeah,
psychology.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Science sorcery. You made it up.
There we go.
Congratulations.
We'll say we made it up here. So yeah,
Yeah.
you practice science sorcery, which is kind of a fun sort of like, kind of a, it's really just magic functionally, but yeah, it's got a little sci-fi or planetary romance. I should also mention to all who might be newer viewers here, this is very much a sort of planetary romance, which is a very specific subgenre of like space fantasy, where though it is very science fiction based, it typically is all on one planet rather than being like a space opera where you're traveling, to a bunch of different far off worlds. The primary text of it, the primary example is the Edgar Rice Burroughs, like John Carter, Princess of Mars, Dejah Thoris, all that fun stuff. So that is kind of where we've left off. But in the narrative, Corinna witnessed something. She decided her living in anonymity, she'd have to move on. She met this Alice Clifton who came from another world. Corinna has also realized that Alice might have been brought to her through science sorcery, and she thinks there's some strange connection between them, but she's not sure the nature of that. But as the pair got to the city of Vaiche, they met Lozos, a dashing sort of kind of like, he's another mystery who's kind of like a dashing swashbuckler type. Corinna, for reasons that I think just to disguise herself and her identity, Corinna is disguised as a male mystery, identifying herself as Karos. So Lauren's character has like so many different names. There's Cora, Corinna, and Karos.
Yes.
And she did a duel with Lozos, who was about to best her, but then Alice jumped in with a wrench and dueled him for, a long time in a huge set piece. He yielded and was quite impressed. He took them to sort of a hideout and said, there is someone I could introduce you to if your interest is in sort of like sharing information about stuff that the Dirigil or the sort of Keskid, those shadow elves are up to. So that is kind of that is where we left off things.
Wow.
You got all that?
No, you don't have to get any of that.
I've been here and I still don't remember.
So yeah, there we go. That's where we are. But we'll just, if you have any questions, please just ask. It's a real chill, casual one. We'll just play for like an hour or so. It's fun. So with that, we're going to sort of cut to the Premier Periodicals office. Corinna. Oh, wait! Before we do this, I'm gonna ask one thing. Lauren, have you rolled for all your increases yet?
I did. I think before.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you do see that you have both you have 2 sheets now.
I do see.
Beautiful. We didn't last week, I think.
Correct.
Okay, so to that point, if you would go to your Cora Wood sheet, could you just roll 3d6? And
yes.
Anna, if you would also roll 3d6, you're gonna have to do it twice, but for the first time, let's do humans together now. If you would also roll 3d6, this will be for Sandra, and you are doing yours for Cora.
6, a 5, and a 3.
A 6, a 5, and a 3. That adds up to 14. It's not bad.
Hold on. 10.
10. Great. So for Cora, your starting luck is 70. 10 times 5 is 50. So your starting luck for Cora is 50. For Sandra is 50. However, for Sandra, but for your other character, for Shanopia, would you please roll 3d6 again? And we'll multiply that by 5, and that'll be your starting luck for your more fantastical character.
15. No.
15.
Yes, 15.
Now 15. Now we're talking. That is 75. 75 luck to start with. Wonderful. Great. Friendly reminder, in this game, if you succeed on a task, you get to click the little box next to it and then improve it, try to roll to improve it for the future, the little handy check boxes. The only reason you don't get to click that checkbox is if you spend luck to change it. Like if you spend your luck to lower it so that it becomes a success. We'll walk through that all the time. And also you have power up at the top. Your fantastical characters have 13 power. Your humans have 10. Really, the human should have less than that, but that's fine. And you may use this to re-roll to give yourself bonuses. Yeah, the humans should have way less than that because they're not going to be like facing death or anything. It's preposterous.
Leave us alone.
Okay, that's fine. Leave you alone. Good, noted. I heard you. All right, so with all of that, one last thing. Lauren, would you give me a D8?
4.
A 4. Wonderful. So, the temperature had cooled down in New York City. It was incredibly hot the other day, but it's as cooled, and it is sort of staying at a little bit more temperate. Still sunny, still, but it's not like swelteringly so. So Cora, as you begin your morning at the Premier Periodicals office, Louise is actually there. We don't have Liv today, but Louise is, kind of people present. Louise is here. She is working on a cover featuring just like a flying saucer and a real weird-looking alien. Cora, you come in, get everything sort of ready to go. Mr. Bliss is here, waiting for his coffee cup. Ted comes in today. The black eye that he had is a little. He looks basically normal at this point. It's been maybe a couple of days. He sort of comes in and gives you a nod. Sits down at his typewriter, and you have a sense that he's like, kind of just like, he isn't just jumping in to write today. He's fiddling around with things, straightening his papers, lighting a cigarette, or a Lego cigarette. He's just kind of like, doing his stuff. Louise seems very involved in whatever kind of, you heard Bliss saying that she needed to get this cover done quickly. So she's not in a mood to chat today. Is there anything you'd like to do?
She will bring Ted his coffee. Does he look perturbed or anything?
I would love for you, in response to that, give me a read person roll under will for Cora. She has a 55. So she's better 43. Than average. What?
43, so regular success.
A regular success. You do not think he doesn't seem like irritated. He seems more like listless. Like he's not totally, he's kind of like, what am I doing? Kind of like it's like the doldrums almost.
Okay, so she'll set his coffee down and say, made it extra strong for you today. Look like you could use it.
Yeah, probably could. It's just been a long week, I guess.
Yeah. Tell me about it. And she'll point at her eye.
Yeah, all right. Just a little.
Oh, by the way, and she'll like go and run to her purse and get a little bottle of witch hazel out.
Uh-oh, okay.
And say, just in case you run into any trouble again. But don't. Here you go.
What the hell's this?
It's witch hazel. Helps with swelling and decreasing inflammation.
Witch hazel? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I got a funny name for everything these days.
It's natural, so it's got to be good for you, right? Except for tobacco. I hear that's getting a bad reputation coming up.
Yeah, well, everything's gonna kill you one way or another.
That's true. Just hope not coffee or ice cream, right?
Yeah. The more wonderful things you talk about, the more I think they're all terrible for us. Please don't say anything about steak. At this point, however, the door sort of almost flies open. And standing there, Cora, is someone you have seen grace the presence of this office on a very, very seldom, but it's notable when she does. Although, Cora, give me a luck roll with Cora's new luck, which is a 70, I think.
Nope, 79.
So, Cora, as it happens, you cannot remember this woman's name. You know that she's someone important, but you don't. You're just not. You're not there. But standing in the doorway is Sandra. And I know it's kind of like a brand new character you're doing, but would you like to give any description of her?
Hi. Hello. Yes, it's Sandra. Bottle blonde. Where I know you said it's temperate, so today I decided to wear the mink. And it's a luxurious new mink. And, a nice peplum suit, and just feeling myself, as I always do. I like to stop by whenever I'm down at Henri Bendel's to buy hats.
It's close to Henri Bendel's. I love it. So as this door opens, Ted kind of looks over, and Ted's got like a coffee cup in one hand, and is just like, whoa. But Sandra, as this happens, sort of go ahead, Cora.
I'll rush over to take her mink.
Okay. So.
Oh no, dear.
Oh, I was just gonna. It's getting warm in here, so I figured.
Oh, I would have worn the second mink if I needed you to take my coat for me. Thank you, sweetie.
Cora, that's quite all right. And at this point, Mr. Bliss is falling over himself as he rushes over. Cora, leave Miss Appleyard alone, please. Oh,
do you want some coffee?
Sure, I'll have some coffee.
Right
and then
away.
She does a thing with her hands, what? Well, it's empty.
Oh,
my cigarette hand is empty.
Ted.
Oh, and Ted goes, oh sure. Ted just. So, Mr. Bliss is, he's rushed over, and then he's, Mr. Bliss is just, spiraling around in the middle of the room, trying to do this. Ted just kind of walks over and, just pulls out a cigarette and hands it to you, and will light it very sort of casually. Yeah, there you go. And, he says, you look familiar.
Sandra Appleyard, minority stakeholder in periodicals.
Oh yeah,
Premier periodicals.
Right. Yeah. Well,
and she puts her hand out in the most
yeah.
Ted
kind of does a shake like that and just says, "Ma'am," and just goes back and sits down and kind of just shakes his head a little.
She has very long red. Oval nails.
Mr. Bliss at this point is rushing back over, having not found a cigarette but seen it was seen to, and kind of he gives Ted this look of just get to work. Miss Appleyard, it's just wonderful to have you here. Please, would you like to come over to my, obviously I don't have my own office, we're all in a bullpen here, but over to my desk, it's a little more comfortable. There's a nicer chair over here, please. I'm so happy you've dropped in. I love seeing you here. There's so much to tell you about.
Oh, Daniel, you speak so much.
Of course.
I hope you put all those words into a fabulous story, because they're wasted on me.
Oh, I'm not much of a writer, but of course, Mr. Fountain over here, he kind of Ted. He writes quick. That's why I like him so much.
Quickly, adverb ly.
Yes, of course. Yes, you should be the editor. Oh dear, this way.
Maybe I should. Too bad I'm too rich to edit anything.
Cora, do you have some coffee? Cora's
Where is
busy.
she with that coffee?
Don't worry about Cora.
I didn't even know I wanted coffee, and then she brought it up, and then now I'm craving it. She's not here with it.
Yes, I'll run in, but I'll be holding like packs of sugar and like the thing of cream, and be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't ask if you wanted cream or sugar. Would you like either one or both?
Black, please. Thank you.
Oh, here you go.
Calories. Do we know about calories in 1947?
I think they do. Ted will sort of mumble something.
Oh, did you want more calories then? Because
No, absolutely not. No calories.
Oh.
Or else my 2 minks won't fit.
You got any diamond dust you could sprinkle that in, I'm sure. Ted just starts.
Charming, Daniel. Charming.
Daniel's this way.
Or is that Ted? Sorry.
That was Ted. Yeah, that was the
I can't tell you two apart sometimes.
It's fair. Yeah. But sort of Daniel leads you over to kind of the nicest chair in the room. It's still not like a super nice chair, but you sort of can sit there. There's a few authors about. Everyone is kind of the writers, and there is a young woman in a kind of like over on one side. She's painting this cover. There's a flying saucer, a very grotesque alien down at the bottom. Definitely the kind of stuff that they sort of sell, that sells these stupid magazines. Strange Lore is specifically, you would know this just being a, kind of with your, I assume that Sandra is very aware of, like, her products and things. I'm assuming she keeps an eye on it. So this one is about weird fiction, sword and sorcery tales, also planetary romance like we were talking about earlier. Eerie story, kind of like not quite horror, but very speculative fiction of one kind or another gets published in this magazine. But sort of as sort of Daniel sits down and says, yes, so Miss Appleyard, would you like to look over the books? I can show you our current sort of accounting, of course. Obviously, it's all handled upstairs in the accounting department, but I do keep my own here, just in case there's any discrepancies. I can tell you about the new stories we're going to be publishing. We have galleys of our upcoming issue, or you can. Is there anything you'd like to know specifically?
I just want to know that this story is going to be a page turner. And I want to know that this story is going to cause all the young people who love these stories to tell their young people friends to buy more magazines and get more advertising dollars.
Understood. So you like Mr. Ullman, you would like this to be, I see. Ted, get over here, Ted. And Ted's like, what am I doing? I just started. All right, fine. Ted kind of just shuffles over and he says, Ted is working on a new story for us. It's a new shall we say it's a serialized tale. It's a sort of the centerpiece of many of our new things. It's about an exotic planet. It's in the grand tradition of Edgar Rice Burroughs. I've been actually thinking we might want to put that on the cover, in the tradition of Edgar Rice Burroughs, just to kind of lend us some cachet.
As long as we don't have to pay Edgar a royalty. He's a real bastard.
Yes. Oh no. Of course, we wouldn't do anything to increase our no. But Ted, why don't you tell her about the story? Oh, it's about a alien princess and a Olympian lady who goes and hangs out with her on a wild planet, and there's intrigue, there's fighting. There was a sword fight with a wrench. That's the scene I just wrote.
Wait, are you saying the 2 lead characters are female?
And Daniel says, yes, but don't worry. I've told him to make
No, I'm not worried. I love it.
Oh, then yes, I encouraged him to make them both women in this story, but I have made sure that they're sisters, so there doesn't seem to be any funny business between them. And Ted's like, yep, one's an alien and one's a human from Earth, but they're soul sisters or something. I haven't gotten to that part.
Why is it that all men think if 2 women are together, there must be funny business between them?
Ted,
or they just be friends?
Ted takes a drag on a cigarette, and his eyes go from Louise to Cora, And he just kind of like smirks. And Daniel says, yes, no, I of course don't think that at all, but we have some prurient members in our readership. Obviously, these are strange speculative tales, so yes, it has to be. I just want it very clear that there's nothing odd or untoward going on between them.
Very well.
But sort of Ted goes, yeah, so I don't know, they're about to go meet the head of some alien resistance or something or another. That's what I'm going to go right now.
Fantastic. Tell me more.
Well, I haven't written it yet. I'm looking for inspiration, I suppose. It's a beetle alien. Yeah, it's an alien like they're have silvery sort of carapaces and all that kind of stuff.
So you're telling me the resistance, the head of the alien resistance, beetle?
Well, yeah, one of them is, I guess. Shiny. I don't know. I'm sure Louise can paint something cool for that. And Louise just kind of looks up and goes, I need 6 hours. Painting. There you go. You'll see it eventually. I hope it'll be. I'll try to make her, it a cover-worthy character. Yeah. He kind of just like blows some smoke at his like, is that so? And Bliss says, "Do you have more questions for Mr. Fountain about the story, or should we have him get on with his work? I like to crack the whip around here."
Let's get on with the work. I'm assuming I'm staying to observe. I blow smoke right back at them.
But Bliss is like, so much smoke. Ted goes, I mean, you're welcome to watch me ride. It's almost as interesting as paint drying. And he just kind of turns around and heads back over to his desk.
Louise, darling, how interesting is your paint drying?
Well, right now I'm painting wet on wet to get more blending, but I'm gonna let it dry and then paint on top of it for a cleaner line.
Don't ask a painter questions.
It always ends up real good, though. She's an amazing artist, and he's an amazing writer.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
Cool. So Daniel said, Mr. Bliss says, "Oh, so you will be staying with us all afternoon, of course. Cora, make sure we order out some for myself and Sandra. We'll be needing to order from one of the nicer joints in town. Find a menu and put it in order for something.
Of course.
Okay, not just sandwiches.
Definitely not sandwiches."
Okay, well, and Cora will pull out a bunch of menus. I've got all these. So you can take your pick. They don't have calorie counts or anything, but I'm sure you can find something you like.
She doesn't look at it. She just points and says, Italian food.
Oh, perfect.
Make a luck roll for Sandra. For Sandra.
94, so probably not.
She points directly at a Chinese restaurant and says Italian food. Yeah.
Can I scoot the Italian menu over?
I think that's a pickpocket roll. Yeah, go under coordination. Because pickpocket is when you're doing it and you're trying not to be seen. Fine motor skills is when you're doing it, but it's sort of very thing. So look under your coordination for Cora. It's just a flat 50.
31.
Yes, you managed to like move the Italian.
That's a perfect choice. I like the eggplant parmesan myself.
Grilled white fish, no sauce.
Oh. There's a fish place.
No, she wants an Italian. Cora.
I want the Italians to grill it.
Of course.
Miss Appleyard needs a grilled whitefish in the Italian style. I'll have the same. It's an exquisite palate.
All right, and she'll go around and take
no salt.
Okay.
No lemon.
Oh. Do lemons have a lot of calories or something?
Oh. Lemons will kill you.
Ted is just sitting here staring at this like, okay. And with that, Ted kind of whatever ennui he might have been feeling at the morning as he walked in, he sets down his cigarette and starts typing. And at which point we will sort of go to the world of Tinnerval. So, Corinna, you and Alice have spent a night in this kind of hidden hotel. You both touched the staff. You had this sort of strange vision, but it was pretty exhausting, so you both sort of slept in the little kind of like, you know, the little, it's like there's not even like a big bed in the room you have. It's kind of just like a few little couches and things. Make a detect vibe roll for Corinna, if you would.
94.
Corinna, you've never been.
No vibes.
Yeah, you've never been in a space like this before. This is a bizarre. You have no idea the function of a hotel like this. In all your years of like working in inns or as waitresses, this seems like a very weird inn. But you can't place the vibe of it. You probably just assume it's bad.
Right.
However, you get a good night's sleep, largely because you're so exhausted from that sort of strange experience you had, where you felt this sort of cosmic connection when you both grasped the scepter. The next morning, there is a knock at your door fairly early.
I will go and just like crack the door open.
Okay. I have a question. Are you dressed as a man, or have you done that yet?
I'll put like enough on, but like my hair's not up.
Understood. So as you begin to open the door, you hear that you can smell the musk of a male mystery, and like Lozos is starting to push it open, and he's like,
Can I slam the door?
Yeah, he's like, all right, time to wake up, Garos. It's time for us to go out, and you slam the door. Go ahead, and with Corinna, I'd like for you to make a, you could do a lift if you wanted to try to push it harder. Oh, Anna, I have forgotten to tell you a deeply important part of this game. So far, we haven't had any rolls. Unlike in other games, your character is incomplete. If you look under, you have to kind of scroll over a bit. If you look under your knowledge, there is something that says upgrades available. You can put those points into various specific talents. I will ask you if you want to before they arise. Lauren has put a lot of her character points in already. I think you have a clean slate, so you could do as you want. I think literally Sandra didn't roll any of those normal rolls yet, so that's fine. But for Shinopia, just if I'm ever forgetting to, I will try to remind you of that. But that's just the thing you can do. You have 300 points. Nothing can go over 99 with those points, but you can sort of just as stuff arises. Yeah. So I bring that up though because Corinna has 120 points left. Do you want some of that to be in lift? In just like, in like kind of this kind of like contested strength sort of thing, or not really?
No.
Okay, cool. Make a lift roll.
29.
With a 29, that's a hard success for you. So yes, you, despite his kind of like, yes, good morning, let's get out of here. You slam the door.
Yeah, and I'll just say, not ready, not dressed.
Oh.
Yep, and she'll lock the door.
He's like, oh, I see. Your strange exotic bride in there is not decent. Yes, I certainly wouldn't want someone like me seeing anything like that either. Oh, Karos, you are quite a cad. Oh, my brother in mystery arms.
While he's saying all this, she's like frantically like putting on her stuff and putting her hair up and making her way out. Is Alice still sleeping?
You know what? For convenience's sake. God, should we say Alice is sleeping, or should we say she's... Do you want her to be sleeping, or do you want her to come with you?
I mean, I think that's the easiest thing.
Alice is dreaming about the Olympic, her silver Olympic medal. She is dreaming of her athletic stuff, so she is asleep, yes.
Corinna thinks about leaving her a note and then realizes she probably can't read her writing, so...
Okay, so
you know what she'll do?
What?
Is there paper and
Make a
and
luck
the writing?
roll. Make a luck roll. Yeah. There should be, actually. But
31.
Sure. Okay,
So-
perfect. Yes. There's convenient, easy. You can do this quickly while doing other stuff. You're not having to look about for it, for sure.
Okay, so she'll draw a little simple picture of her and the door, and then an arrow coming back.
Go to Will and make a compose create roll. As you do this art.
74.
You could spend 1 power and try it again.
No.
Not worth it. All right, fair enough. You're just you give her a incomprehensible drawing. All right, but
Okay.
you are able to get dressed relatively quickly, and Lozos is out there, sort of saying, "Yes, your woman was quite impressive the way she fought me to a standstill. I haven't had a workout like that in many years. Oh, good, you're here. Wait, where is she? Oh,
Sleeping. She overexerted herself.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll bet she did, my brother." He slaps you so hard on the back. Like,
Ow.
so hard. Like, you don't understand how hard guys slap each other on the back sometimes. He slaps you so hard on the back. Make an endurance roll.
27.
Yeah, you just...
So she'll just go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Right. Information.
Yes,
We were
so you have some
going to
information to
exchange.
deliver to some of those who are standing against our druidic friends, correct?
Correct.
Come, I'm going to take you. Going to take you to the person in this town who is gathering information against those Casegid swine.
And how do I ensure her safety?
Oh, well, that... One, I don't think will be hard. If she fought me to a standstill, there's very few she couldn't defeat. But also, we can talk to Shinobia about this. She may have some ideas. Come. We breakfast. And he puts an arm around you and just, like, walks you out.
We breakfast.
Yes, come, we must breakfast. And sure enough, he leads you out of that. So once again, like, kind of, if you recall, it was like you guys get to the interior door. He like looks out through a little peephole and then opens it up, and it's like a wall. It's this whole thing of like crates and boxes and just trash. The whole thing lifts to one side, and you guys exit there into an alley and then walk out near a sort of cloth maker, and you begin walking through the streets of Vaiche, eventually coming upon an incredibly beautiful house. Some kind of like estate with gold. It doesn't look dissimilar, actually, from the true nature of your sort of scepter. It has that same sort of gold and glass and just this beautiful, reflective thing. I would say that Corinna, no roll required, would recognize this as Chrysene architecture. And you did remember he was going to say there was going to be some Chrysene you were going to go talk to. He sort of strides up and nods, and there are a couple of like attendants standing nearby, a couple of Busiko, one man, one woman. They're sort of standing there, and one of them is dressed in a more of like a guard type, like has like a pauldron on. The other is wearing sort of more just like kind of standard, major domo type roles. She'll kind of nod to you, and as if Lozos was expected. And when she sees you, she kind of looks you up and down with her one eye. The Busiko have one eye. They're just like cyclopses. She kind of just looks you down with her eye and just kind of gestures inside. And Lozos says, "Yes, well, you didn't think we were going to so fine a house, did you, Karos? Never seen a place like this, have you? Very few mystery have.
No.
Such finery is unknown to our kind ever since you-know-who took over you-know-what. I mean the Casegid taking over the world."
Yes, I
Now,
understood that.
Karos,
Yep.
I'm going to warn
Yes.
you, as the two of you walk down this incredibly ornate hallway. You need to be on your best behavior. We are going to be talking to a woman, all right? Now, listen, we have to pretend like that's not a disadvantage to her. And despite being a woman, like your little plaything, she has done some impressive things, not in terms of fighting, but in terms of finances. You understand?
Perfect.
Very,
Wonderful.
very shrewd businesswoman is this Chrysene.
Yes, and a woman of such means obviously has merit in this world. In addition to her riches, probably can also contribute in other ways to society.
Karos, the student already exceeds the master. Yes, this is the kind of claptrap you must say in her presence. You must treat her like she's a normal person and not a woman. Perfect. Well thought out, Karos. You're quite clever indeed. Honestly, because of that, This is something very rare for me. I might let you do the talking. Oh, Karos. Slap. Yes, so, share with her the information you have, and she will perhaps have some ideas and ways to reward you for all of this, but we're on the right track for us to all get what we want. Adventure, to stick it to the case gid, and, well, whatever else arises along the way. All right.
Yes.
Best behavior, Lozos. Best behavior. Don't say anything. Don't say anything rude. Be respectful. Yes. You guys get to the door. The sort of major domo just turns around and eyes you both, and then knocks a strange sort of like almost like susurrating pattern. It sounds like the clicking of like beetle wings, like this. Which is gross to us, but to Shinopia is like kind of like that's the preference. Because if you just like knock, that's rude, but kind of to do this. And so Shinopia, if you're ready for them to enter, you may bid them enter your sort of primary chamber.
Does Shinopia know Lazos?
You know Lozos, yes.
Lozos.
And I would say that Lozos is... Lozos thinks that when he's around you, he's doing a really good job of not being a sort of chauvinistic kind of macho guy.
Got it.
But he also like is pretty like he he doesn't say preposterous things in your presence. But he has come to you, Shinopia, telling you that all of the recent business with the druids, he knows a young mystery man who has some information, and in exchange for the information, he might
Do come forward.
So,
I would like to hear this information from this young gentleman.
So the doors are opened, and Corinna, you see, as Karos, you see this beautifully appointed kind of like office with a large desk. There's a library of various kinds of scrolls and kind of information spheres and whatever else strange things they use on this planet. You have not seen riches like this in a very long time, Corinna. Sitting there, though, sort of like at the desk, do you think she's rising, or is she just waiting for them to sort of come to her?
Shinopia does not rise.
Then, yes. So you see Shinopia, who is one of these Chrysene. They are, I think we've encountered one. Yeah, your boss was. They are sort of beetle people. They are humanoid beetles with hard carapaces that are nevertheless very sort of like beautiful, and they are typically metallic in color. So they're like gold. Have you ever seen like a gold beetle? You know, those like actual gold beetles, those things that are
they're like a shimmery.
No, you're like, no, someone painted that. That's not real. It just is in nature. That's what they look like. They're these like sort of, but they have sometimes patterns, and will also then enhance that with further patterns. So yeah, very sort of shimmery.
My grandma had a brooch that you could put on a beetle, like a little chain.
And the beetle would just like move around you?
Yeah.
Well.
What?
It was a weird thing.
Cool story. I'm now disturbed, but yes, that's the vibe. So,
Wow.
Wait, she could have been lying though, now that I think about it.
She could have been pulling your leg this whole time.
I want to believe.
So with that, the door opens and you see Shinopia, who is...
Does Shinopia have antennae?
Yes, you do have. Okay. They do have antennae. Yes, and in fact, your antennae are why, for sort of rules reasons, under your vitality, you have bonuses to all of your like senses, but especially.
Okay.
Oh no, I think you have like a numerical bonus to all of those, but especially to your listen and your smell, taste. You have this, incredible sort of. So yes, you're very, very aware. And Shinopia, what you see walking before you is, of course, Lozos with his very specific scent. He is this kind of like strapping, purple-skinned, silver-spotted mystery with kind of pointed ears. He's very dashing, swashbucklery, probably has kind of longish hair. Walking with him is a much sort of slighter young mystery wearing sort of the clothing of gentlemen, has much more sort of like what kind of features would you say Corinna has?
I don't know. I mean, like I don't know.
Fair enough.
She's trying to make herself look very standard, so she's just
Yeah.
I don't know, standard mystery.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So a young mystery lad almost is what it seems like. Lozos walks in. Lozos comes in, gives you a very kind of like over the top bow. Says,
Lozo, stand up.
Of course, we shan't wait around on ceremony. I present to you Karos. Karos has information.
Karos, how do you do?
Very well, fine lady. And you. And she'll do like almost a courtier's bow.
Okay. Sure.
But she's like, oh, that might be too much, so she'll kind of stop.
Tell you
in
what,
between.
you have some experience with this. I would love for you to make a perform roll. And if you'd like to put any on top of this, you may beforehand.
You know what? I am going to put 10.
10, I love it. I love it. Okay, so go ahead and roll it. You now have a 70 in perform.
Okay, hold on.
And while this is happening, I think I would like for Anna, if you could make a roll for Shanopia. Would you do a read person? Just your initial impression of this young mystery. Your read person is under will, the green will column, and you do get a bonus on all of these. And if you want to add some points to this even before making it, you are definitely welcome to. You could max it out to 99 if you'd like.
I will add 10 points to make it 85.
Love it. All right.
Now, I guess my question is, has Karos been introduced to me as a young lad?
He has, yes. Lozos has only said Karos as a young lad. Every time, for sure.
Oh, let's spend some luck to re-roll that 93.
Sure, that is. Oh, but wait, you get it. That was with your bonus. It was a 93. Because you get to re-roll. You get to roll the tens column
wait,
twice.
you're right. Okay, yeah. 33.
33 for you is a hard success. So yes, with a 33, I'll say with a hard success, you certainly have the very obvious suspicions about Karos that you might have. You are without a doubt certain that Karos is in disguise. Whether or not Karos is a woman, as you probably suspect but are not certain of, Karos is definitely disguising themselves to be, whether for a lot of reasons. But that is not unheard of, especially people who are sort of coming here with secretive information and such as that. You also get the impression that Karos, with a hard, I would say, Karos doesn't seem to be sort of scared. Karos doesn't seem to be like super nervous. Karos seems to be wary, perhaps. But this is someone who has been in situations before.
Karos, I look forward to hearing your information.
Yes. By the way, I rolled a 32, which is a hard success.
And the antennae are like reaching out towards Karos.
Also, Karos, as Karos walked in, does a very good bow, a very well-timed, an appropriate bow. Lozos's bow is all about showing off. Karos' seems to be about displaying respect. Now, Karos, I realize there's not a flaw, but there's an issue here. This is where things are a little more casual. We might hand wave a part of this because I would bet money that Lauren does not remember the information that she is supposed to be giving to Shanopia here.
That would be correct.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do.
Karos, you're stuttering.
Trying to remember my best.
So Lauren, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you the broad strokes of this, and I would simply like to know what you're going to tell Zenopia of it, or Shanopia. What you would like to report is that a few days ago, out in the hinterlands, you witnessed some Kaeskid of high station, along with one who traveled in space, a Kaeskid wearing a jetpack, in your village. You then later heard an explosion from above, which was the jetpack in question. You later established. You found Svaumen and Kaeskid all dead near a hidden cave, where you think, based on your amateur detectiving, something went wrong. The the jetpack exploded, killing some of the Sphaugmen, and Shinopia. Sphaugmen are sort of small dwarf, hairy dwarf, kind of horned, hairy dwarf aliens.
Are they Case-Kid henchmen, or what are they working
They're
together?
their own thing, but yes, what Karos is telling you here, if Karos is telling you that part, is that it seems like there was some shenanigans, and though you didn't know what it was, Lauren, there were lots of crates. There was some deal was going down, but something went bad. That jetpack exploded, killing many, and then the Sphaugmen's sort of like beast of burden that was there kind of killed everyone else. So some deal went bad.
Oh dear.
Okay.
So do you tell all of that? Do you leave any of that out?
I will leave out that I had met the person first.
Understood. So
Everything else.
So Shinopia, yes, you basically hear the story that there was an explosion in the hinterlands. There was a missing, there was a space, kind of a spacefaring Case-Kid was killed. A rocket pack exploded. Other Case-Kid were killed. A Sphaugman was killed. Some deal was going on, which Karos was unable to get to the. Karos fled before learning what was transpiring. So Shinopia, with no role, this does line up with some things you already know. And I know it's weird to do these things in RPGs where just the players have no idea about lore and I'm just feeding it to them, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. So Shinopia, what I would like for you to do, having heard this, is I'm going to ask you, well, first of all, if there's anything you want to sort of say or just flavor-wise.
Was the Case-Kid with the jetpack, did he seem like a muckety-muck, or was he like a lower, just a deal?
Shinopia,
was he anyone of import that we can engage in subterfuge?
Yeah. I would like for Corinna, retroactively, this is where a detect vibe will happen rather than a read person.
Okay.
Because you do remember him.
25.
What is that for you? What level of success? Hard?
Sorry, this read person.
No, detect vibe this time.
Sorry. My appointment was canceled, by the way, so we can go as long as we need.
Well,
that's why I'm like, that is a hard success.
With a hard success, you think back, you remember the way he spoke to you in the inn. Yes, you suspect that he would have been... He might have even been a druid, which is the highest caste of the Case-Kid. He might have been one of their purple priests, their dark druids.
And you tell me this?
Yes.
Well. And he's gone missing. Do they know this yet?
As far as I know, as far as I know...
Here's my idea. Hostage. Kidnapping. Subterfuge.
Perhaps,
battling druid versus druid.
I will be honest, madam. This situation was tenuous, so I removed myself as expeditiously as possible.
Yes, but what I'm saying is this druid has... they don't know that he's dead, correct?
Last I heard...
Pretend he's very alive.
It had not been discovered, but there is a likelihood that it had been. By
oh dear,
this
never
point.
mind.
I would like for Shinopia to make an analyze roll as you. So I'm going to have you take this new information and plug it into intel you already have.
I am going to put 10 more points in analyze.
Love it. All right, so with an 85 to analyze, and you get a bonus on this as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. 8.
An 8.
Hard success.
8 is in fact an 8 is even better. An 8 is an extreme success. You
extreme
are
success.
Sort of putting these pieces together. So Shinopia.
What's the other success I got? I need to check it off. What was it?
It was in read person.
Read.
Under green
right.
under the will. Yes.
Right.
So Shinopia, hearing this, for a moment you're like, could we? Your mind goes to, as it should. Your mind is like, can we use this? But when Corinna tells you he's probably been discovered by now, and Corinna, this may be a thing you would not have mentioned, but you also assume he had, since people were like there were people out looking, and you know those that
so well, that's why I ran.
Exactly. No, but like,
but I don't want to.
You don't want to give all this. You're just saying like he was probably found by now. So now that you have to throw out your sort of like interesting plot and what you could do about this Shinopia, you instead realize that you know exactly who this jetpack wearing person was. And what's interesting about this is a druid who has not, so it's almost like the reverse of what you're saying, the reverse of what your idea was. You're like, this person who you have just heard from Karos is dead. Karos literally saw the body. The druids have said he's taking an extended leave of absence amidst the stars. They are claiming he is not dead.
They are claiming he is not dead.
Oh. Well, I can assure you that he is most dead.
What is
this information is valuable, then.
Very valuable. Thank you so much. And Shinopia leans over to kind of get more vibes with the antennas on.
Do you, Shinopia? Would you like to do a smell?
Like just like a real like sniffy tickle.
Would you like to take a whiff?
Yes.
Okay, please
very
roll.
Much so.
Please roll with your bonus a smell taste using your antenna.
Oh yeah, 17.
Under vitality.
Oh, I definitely have to add 15 points to smell taste.
Understood. All right.
No.
I feel like Shinopia does this a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 4.
A 4. Guess what, Shinopia? Oh, no. That is a vital success. So Shinopia, with a vital success, you're going to smell 2 things. But I'm going to let you make another roll. And this, interestingly, will...
She's going to smell my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
This is such an obscure type of thing. I think, could you give me a luck roll? Let's see if this is something that you would have encountered at all. Your luck is 75.
15.
15 is an extreme success for you with your luck. Wow. Okay. Wow. With an extreme success, Shinopia, you smell 2 things upon this boy, Karos. 1, your suspicions that this is someone in disguise are utterly confirmed. This is definitely, you understand how these like kind of more like mammalian types, sort of their whatever sexual dimorphism you have, you understand that this is a woman before you. Could be, or biologically, kind of you could be someone who is truly a man and wishes, but you're based on the disguised nature and the hurriedness of it, you strongly suspect this is a woman in disguise. But you also smell a scent you've only smelled once before. The staff that this young lad is carrying has a unique type of metal that is not found almost anywhere now. It has this ore, which is what the ancient mystery of Mystrios used to use for their science sorceress scepters that would allow them to cast wild, impossible spells. And with your vital success on the scent that you pick that up, coupled with your extreme success of luck of even knowing this, Shinopia, you have smelled the princess out. So you know at the very least this is someone who has something very powerful. This is not a simple device. You can smell through the illusion of this scepter she's holding. This is actually a powerful spellcasting device.
Karos, Why are you spending time with Lozos?
We recently became friends, and he has connections that I lack. Obviously, fantastic connections to incredible beings. She's trying. Can I charm?
Please make a charm. Yes, I'd love a charm.
I mean, you have a valid point. You did. He did bring you to me. I'm not arguing you.
A 4. Unfortunately for you, that is only. You could spend 1 luck to make it a vital, but you wouldn't get to check it, or you can check it.
No, I'll check it.
Great. With an extreme success,
So
Karos speaks to you. Yes, Karos's argument of this is yes, and it is a good point as well. But Karos also says it very well. Very kind of, he's led me to you. I'm here for sort of.
I appreciate that, but sometimes a relationship has run its course. Lazos, you are dismissed.
Oh.
Lozos, whatever your name is.
Very well, but I hope that, Madam Shinopia, I hope that in the future you will remember that I'm the one who brought Karos.
Yes.
Karos, I'm sure I'll see you again soon. I know where you're staying. He sort of turns and leaves.
My dear.
Yes.
You can remove the chapeau. Let the hair diaphanously fall down to your shoulders.
Surely I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, the jig is up. The jig is up.
There is no jig here. I should go catch up to Lazos.
You don't want to catch up with Lazos. Trust me. The Lazos is so full of vim and vigor, and not much else.
Yes. Corinna's
You, my
still
dear.
trying to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your scepter.
Oh, it's nothing. It's a simple.
Oh, it's quite something. It's quite
walking
something.
stick.
Yes, Shinopia, you suspect based on what you smelled that it is definitely a scepter of Mistrios. You think it may be quaternary. Potentially, it's a tertiary scepter, and you could identify it as such to further be,
Wonderful. Quaternary scepter. She says all this to herself. Tertiary. She's like, and she's doing the antennas. Tickle, 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 tickle.
You know what? Okay. Just for the fun of it, let's have our illustrious Shinopia of Hibenzar. Would you roll an Intimidate? And if you'd like to put more points on top of Intimidate before doing so,
yes, very much so. 10 more points than Intimidate.
85 seems like your number.
I like it, but I don't roll this one with a bonus.
You don't get a bonus on this one, sadly. Yeah, this is your first.
You will not believe it.
What do you got?
I should take a picture of this. 5.
A 5. All right.
A 5.
So here's an interesting situation for you here. If you would like to, you can click the box for this and have this be an extreme success, very impressive, or you could spend 1 of your luck, reducing it to 74, but you will get a vital success, and you will be the most intimidating thing that Corinna has encountered in her life up to this point.
Oh, I like being the most intimidating. Yeah, let's do that. So I won't tick the box.
You don't get to tick the box. We will reduce your luck just to 74, which is still great. And
yes.
Corinna, I suppose if you want to, you can roll a resist coercion, but even if you sort of succeed, you're going to be scared.
I'll roll it.
Okay.
68.
Yeah. What is your resist coercion score? 60.
It's 60.
So no, you are you like, to your shock,
scared.
You just hand her the scepter.
Thank you very well. Thank you, my dear girl.
And
Certainly. I start looking at it.
And in so doing, you also you let her see it as it is. So suddenly, Shinopia, what you're holding is this beautiful scepter. It is made of this ore, which is this kind of like it's a gold from the beginning of the galaxy. It's this beautiful sort of gold. It really goes with your sort of shell. It has, however, these kind of, it's like not really steampunk, but it's got these like vacuum tubes and all this shiny glass and crystalline sections as well. It does have a, it looks both magical and scientific at both. You know, you could see someone like plugging it into.
There's like a beaker and like.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, has that energy, but there's a little bit of, and there's like some sigils around it. So yeah, it's got a lot going on.
Do I recognize like?
Because you've already proven that you know about it, please give me an investigate roll.
Okay.
You can add to this beforehand, or you can let this go as it is now.
No, 38. Just a success, regular success.
A regular success.
Right. I could spend 1 luck point to get it to 37, right?
You could.
And have it be extreme?
Have it be a hard.
A hard success, yes.
You'll do that?
Yep.
Great. With a hard success, you are not exactly sure the power level of this. What you are sure about is that unlike almost any other Mystrios technology you've seen, this is not secondhand. This is in immaculate condition. You don't suspect this person simply found this and like rebuilt it or anything. No, this scepter is in excellent condition.
Who is your mother, dear girl? Who is your father?
I don't think you know them.
Try me. Like, would it be a thing of lineage, I guess? Like,
there would be a lineage thing, and I think that Lauren probably doesn't have these names.
I don't.
But Lauren, are you I guess the real question is, will you tell her the name of your parents?
No.
Okay. She does not tell you the name of her parents. Will you tell her anything? Will you give her any? Will you tell her will you even give her your family name?
No, but she will say, "You have obviously seen through my disguise, and that's rather impressive. But I don't wish to tell you who I am."
It's all right. I'll figure it out. My dear, I assure you, you are quite safe. Thank you for this information. Thank you for letting me examine your scepter. It is quite gorgeous.
Thank you. Family heirloom.
I figured as much.
Yes. That, in many ways, that just confirmed everything she's thinking. Family heirloom means, got it, so you're royalty. Perfect. So Shinopia.
Also, does the surname carved on it anywhere?
Ooh. May both of you make a luck roll. This will be a contested luck roll. You cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. No power to re-roll this.
26.
3.
Oh, unfortunately, the family name. We'll simply say that the family name, while it is on there, is so subtly put on. Even the impossibly perceptive Shinopia does not notice it. And Shinopia
must be the work of a modern artist.
Though Shinopia is a very, very well-informed individual, she does not know every sort of royal family of this other civilization. Like she's not an expert on the Mystrios. But as this sort of young woman is here, I suppose Shinopia, you have a couple of options. And we're sort of stepping. I'm kind of taking us out of RP for a moment to sort of get to this. We can wrap in time. One thing you could do is simply give her some reward for this information, this useful information, or you could offer her work in sort of the shared goal that you both have, which is disruption of the Dirigil, which is the Case Kids like organization. You could offer her a quest of some kind. Yes.
My dear girl.
Yes.
I would like you to understand that you have my protection. I am your patron.
I appreciate that.
You will work for me, only in so much as we destroy the Case Kid. I shall support you with my network, with my finances, with my extreme brain.
I imagine the antenna just like...
Yeah. And then she uses one antenna to scratch her head.
I love that.
All right. There
That
is.
is, you don't have any other obligations or anything pressing on your social calendar.
Oh, no. However, I do have a traveling companion who came here quite mysteriously. And I'm trying to find a way to get her home as well.
Yes. We'll sort that out. Whatever you need.
All right.
Tell me your surname. I'll get your travel companion home. What?
What was that?
What was that?
But,
Tell me. I said, tell me your surname, and we shall be certain to get your travel companion home.
but we'll consider that for the future. Obviously, I'm very protective of my family name. So
No harm shall come to your family.
well, that remains to be seen. Also, much has. However, I do look forward to working with you, and perhaps
I will work from afar. I shall pull the strings of the purse and the intelligence of the brain from afar.
yes, sounds wonderful. I believe that this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Let's keep it business.
Yeah,
Yes,
beautiful
a business friendship.
arrangement. Yes.
Work wives, I believe. Long distance work wives.
Yes. Long distance, non-committal work wives.
Yes, wonderful.
Well, with such a good bargain struck, Corinna probably puts back on the Karos disguise and will
Yes.
head back to go see if Alice is awoken.
Yes.
Darling,
Yes.
I'm going to refer you to my milliner and my just get you a new chapeau, a little more convincing.
Oh, thank
of a
you.
Disguise.
I just had to rush and put this together. You know, disguises.
In that case,
my
perfect.
forte.
Yes, Corinna, you walk out of Shinopia's place wearing a very much more sort of like convincing. You've got like a cool hat. I really like that Shinopia talks about chapeaus.
Lazos
so
is
much.
going to be so jealous that you
Yeah.
got like new clothes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lozo spots the hat. Is very. Oh my word! You look fantastic, Karos. Wow.
Thank you.
Well, so what did Shinobia give you in reward? Anything for me? Anything on my end as well?
No, she didn't like the way I was dressed, so in exchange for my knowledge, she actually gave me these beautiful clothes.
Oh, I mean, these clothes are fine, but you should have gotten much more out of it than this.
Yes. Well,
So, what are we doing now?
I'm going to check on Alice, and we can meet for dinner, perhaps.
I know a wonderful place. We breakfasted, and tonight we shall sup. Ha ha ha! Huzzah! So, Karos, as you head back
He says
to the
huzzah so much, I
Ah,
bet.
he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. He's not problematic at all. As you head back to that, we then cut back to the afternoon, where so Sandra has actually Sandra. Would you please roll for the Sandra, not for Shinopia, a smell taste as well. If you'd like to put some points into smell taste, you may. If you want her to have a very refined palate, you may put these in.
For her fish?
For her fish, basically. Let's see if this is up to
No,
her.
we're not putting any points in that for her. her terrible dinner order.
She just pretends
What
to
is
have
going on? My rolls are crazy today. 6.
A 6, great. So despite not being that, so you can definitely click smell taste for Sandra instead of Shinobia, in addition to in this case. Sandra, the fish was, it wasn't Italian enough. And because of this, the afternoon has been unpleasant in numerous ways. 1, the office now smells like fish. 2, it doesn't
And I
smell
get to
like
leave.
She's gonna leave. 2, it doesn't
It's gonna smell like fish for days.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like Italian fish. 3, Mr. Bliss. I'm gonna roll a luck roll for him. This is to see if he has given himself an ulcer with Sandra being there all day. Yes, Mr. Bliss. If it's not an ulcer, he has terrible indigestion, probably because this fish is also not whatever. So there's been a lot going on today, Cora. It's been a hard day for you, but sort of Ted looks up, kind of sniffs and goes, "Oh, brother." Sandra, you've been, I would imagine just looking around the office, looking over people's shoulders as they write, watching Luis, literally watching paint dry for a while. Ted has been hard at work. You do think that tell you what, make an analyze roll for Sandra.
Oh.
Sandra. It's not Sandra.
53.
53. And you actually get you get a bonus on these too, even as her.
Oh.
You get many fewer bonuses in your sort of human world.
23.
With a 23, that is a hard success. You can definitely check that box for her as well. Yes, you, looking around, Ted's prose is good. Ted writes, he's no insert Sandra's face. She's no Proust. I don't know who her favorite would be, but he's
Whoever wrote Lady Chatterley's Lover, that's who Sandra actually loved. Dylan
Lawrence?
Thomas, maybe?
Yeah,
I think.
Lady Chatterley.
Something salacious is
Yeah,
what she actually likes.
Yeah, it's D.H. Lawrence. Yeah.
D.H. Lawrence.
So as you sort of look at this, he seems to write. He picks interesting and evocative words, but it's not so dense. It reads well. And he's writing some scene where this character is meeting this beetle woman, and the beetle woman seems very smart and kind of like perceptive and stuff, and it all seems you definitely think it would make a cool cover picture for them.
Yeah, and I'm pushing that agenda for sure.
Oh, okay, then great. So yeah, please let's go. So basically, you've read this. You can go talk to Bliss about Bliss's.
It's really fabulous. Really fabulous.
Oh, this?
Definitely cover worthy.
Oh, you hear that? Cover worthy. Bliss says, "Oh, wonderful, perfect, cover worthy." Yes. Did you hear that, Louise? And Louise says, "I can't hear anything right now." Hold on. Okay, what? She walks over. We want you to have whatever he just wrote be the cover for our next issue. This is straight from the top. What about this cover I just did? It'll be an insert.
When Edward's not here, I'm the top.
Okay. She just kind of and goes back and sees. Wait, can I see the pages? And he's like, sure. Cora, can you copy these? I'm sure you'll read them and everything too. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say that's
she does one of these again.
He just. Ooh, I'm gonna roll for him actually. Let's see if he can do this really dexterously to just hand over. Yeah, that's a 15. I'll say Ted very casually, just like to Sandra, just kind of pulls out a cigarette without looking at her, holds it and lights it, kind of da-da-da. And he goes, well, I'm gonna call that a good day's work. I'm gonna get out of here because there's a ball game. So everyone have a good evening.
Good night, Ted.
Thanks, Cora. I hope you like those pages. He saunters out.
Sandra is gonna follow Ted.
Okay, perfect.
Come on, Ted. I have home base seats. Seats behind home base, whatever they say in baseball terms.
Oh, wow.
Come on, let's go to the game.
All right.
Take a little work to the game, shall we?
I'm not saying no to that. All right. So Cora, you see he's now walking out with fancy lady.
And she'll say, bye, Miss Sandra?
Goodbye, darling.
Bye.
As you say that, Bliss, like a Roadrunner cartoon, just like right next to you and says, "It's Miss Appleyard."
Sorry.
And I don't like the idea of her fraternizing with Ted. That might be trouble. I'm gonna have to tell Mr. Ullman this.
Nice.
Oh my God, my stomach hurts. I need stomach medication pronto, Cora.
I've got some right here. There's a dog making some sound.
So with that,
Wait, she'll go to her purse and get the medication. That was it.
perfect. So as basically Mr. Bliss shakes her head, Cora, you watch Ted. You kind of could see Ted getting into the elevator with Sandra. Especially they're going to go to a baseball game. Does Cora have any sort of final thought or expression, or she's holding the pages? Any last beat here?
What an interesting woman. And then she'll
And you
start
see,
flipping
as the elevator doors close, you see Sandra wrap her arm around Ted's arm.
Ted's like, oh, brother. Yeah, so, and with that, oh man, this is very interesting. With that, we will end this afternoon, based on time zones, episode of Strange Lore. Thank you so much, Anna. I hope you enjoyed the...
Thank you for having me.
Isn't this kind of, this
that
is
was so
this
fun.
one's
Thank
a
you
little
both for
weirder,
having me.
right? It's a different kind of... There's some
I love it.
Kind
it's
of
super fun.
dual narrative things going on, and where it's kind of my suspicion with this game is that as it goes on, we're going to be spending more and more time in the real world. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's mainly a story and a fantasy thing with real world things. I bet at the end it's going to be more like half and half. But yeah, that was great. I loved both. I love both of these characters, and hope we can see them. Hope we'll see them both again. At some
Wonderful.
future point. But it's great. So now, look at this. Corinna now has kind of a sort of a quest giver, a exciting thing.
She needed that.
She really
She
did.
needs a little.
I just, even though Shinopia won't be here for all the, I want Corinna to know that she's got full support of
Thank you.
brains and money.
Yes. She was actually lacking money. So.
She really, she's been, so there we go. So she's got a thing. That's great. And it's so, see, I like games like this. This is a dumb thing for me to say that I like TTRPGs, but like I love when it's like, it's only because of really high rolls that worked, that you knew it was the scepter. Like that was like, you got a high roll to smell it, but then you also had high roll. It was amazing.
I rolled crazy today.
Low roll
I
in
usually
this
roll
game.
like shit in your percentile games.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you usually
So
roll
this
so
was-
high, but this was
I
great.
made up for it in this one.
You really, you made, oh, I'm sorry.
I rarely get like extreme successes, and
Me
I
too.
had
Yeah.
2.
You guys were, this was a good one. You can both roll to improve if you like, or we can do that later. But I will sort of quickly go through our sort of goodbyes for this stuff. We have other games on this channel. No game tomorrow. It is a 5th Wednesday. But starting a week from tomorrow, we're going to have our new sort of rotating Wednesday schedule. The first of the month is Formation Nation. The second of the month is Lost Lore Academia. The third of the month is Top Flight West. The fourth of the month is Lost Lore Academia again. So join us for that starting next Wednesday. On Friday, and that's at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. On Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, we have Blood from a Stone, our horror game. Oh, how exciting that is. So come check that out with us. Lot of fun stuff going on there as sort of the new chapter has started. And I'm real excited about one of the things that I'm going to force to happen on. Everything else I'll leave to dice, but one thing I'm going to make happen on Friday. On Sunday, we may have a dragon game on Sunday, but I did forget, Anna, that it's a Labor Day weekend. So we may not have a Dragon game on Sunday. We'll let you guys know that a little later. So yeah, and then no game next Monday because Lost Lore, Third Time's the Charm wrapped last night. That wasn't a big deal. Don't even watch it. Nothing interesting happened.
Whatever.
It was not a big deal at all. And then on a week from today, we'll be back with more Strange Lore. Anna, did you have a question about leveling up or improving?
No.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's the thing where you have to roll above on it. And Lauren, how are you doing on your improvements? It's the tricky thing about this game is you often don't improve because you're only rolling like your highest things basically, so it's harder to do.
I'm doing great, but I forgot to do luck, and I closed my sheet, so I'm gonna do that.
Oh yeah, you also get to roll to improve your luck if you did not do that for both characters, and there are multiple characters. It's crazy. Thank you guys for all of that
This
fun.
is super fun. Thank you.
We have go to our Discord to interact with us. Go to our YouTube to watch old episodes. Go to our wiki, where Sophia and Galanorian Saber has also started helping with that. There's just stuff about players, stuff about games, stuff about systems, recaps of certain games. It's really cool stuff. Check it out. So that's my whole thing. If you would like to plug any socials, you may do so now.
I have a Twitch channel that I sometimes stream on, but not frequently. But I'm gonna try this
Yay!
week. I'm gonna try this week.
It's The Rose
7:30.
Explodes.
Do it.
It's the one that you can see.
Oh, it's The Rose Explodes.
The Rose Explodes at 7:30 on
Thursday. Yeah.
Pacific.
Yes.
Great. I am going to stream tomorrow, which is Wednesday, on the YouTube at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to make a little pumpkin marinara dish on the internet. So come check it out.
Will the pumpkin marinara be
Anna Vicino.
Will the pumpkin marinara be in pavilions?
The pumpkin marinara will be in pavilions.
Go
they are the only LA chain to carry it, or you can order it from eathappykitchen.com.
Ooh, that's also cool. And I think I might have talked when you were saying that it was at YouTube/@
Yeah, youtube.com/Anna Vicino. You don't have to have the @ symbol for some reason. I don't know why some accounts you do and some you don't. I don't know.
You may have gotten yours before that became the thing.
Maybe.
Because for Long Lost Lore, it is /@ Long Lost. It's very weird.
I know. It's really, it doesn't make sense.
So yeah, well, thank you. So yeah, that's some wonderful stuff there. Pierce. There you go. Thank you, Pierce. Hi, Pierce.
Hi, Pierce.
Did you...
Hi, Pierce, thanks.
I don't know. Pierce, did you... I really think the idea of me asking Pierce about Marvel Snap right now is funny in this context. I think that's funny.
Is he commenting about Marvel Snap?
No, I just think it would be funny for me, like, oh, by the way, Pierce, guess what just happened to me in a Marvel Snap game? But I'm not going to do that. But thank you all so much for watching. Yes, please follow our wonderful players. We will see you next time. He's completed his dailies. Good work. It's always challenging to kind of stay on top of that. Believe me, I know. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been great. Until next time, we will leave you with the words of this pulp magazine. To be continued. Ooh, space. Space. Bye, everybody.